about you home to some of New York's top athletes. And today we're going to do a warm-up for our core. So we're going to start out with a supine 90-90. Basically just means we're going to lie on our back. That's what supine means. And 90-90, we got 90 degrees at the knees, 90 degrees at the hips. I want to push my feet into the wall and then pull them down toward the floor. So my quads are awake, my hamstrings are awake, the hips are awake. I'm going to press my lower back against the floor, or at least try to, engaging that core. And I'm going to maintain this tension as I do 5 breaths. I'm going to fill up for 5, and fill up and then empty out, breathing into my diaphragm for 5 reps. All the while maintaining that tension against the wall. You want to make sure you're filling up that diaphragm and emptying that diaphragm. My shoulders aren't elevating at all. Everything's happening here. Ribs are expanding. Belly should be rising when you inhale. And we're doing that for 2 sets of 5 breaths. After that, we're going to do a glute bridge march. So we're lying on our back, again, pressing that lower back against the floor. We're going to pick up our hips. Then we're just going to walk in this position. I'm going to bring one knee in toward my chest, really driving through that foot that's on the floor. And then I'll switch. I'm going to try to keep those hips level, keep those hips high. We're going to march for 10 reps. Again, you'll do 2 sets of 10 reps. Nice and slow and controlled. I think that's 10. We'll do one more. All right, then we'll get into all 4s. We're gonna hit cat-cows. We'll do this for 6 reps. So tucking and pushing our hips out, that's 1 rep. Now, normally we do a cat-cow, we're focused on going through the whole spine, so we're moving a lot through the shoulders and the hips. For this one, we're gonna focus on what we do with our hips. So stabilize everything in the upper body, to right about here. And we'll tuck the hip under, and then we'll poke the hips out. If you have any movement at the shoulder, it's all good, but we want to focus on what we're doing with the hips, ideally. Not always the case, but for now, that's what we're doing ideally. You want to go real slow and controlled, just to make sure you're moving what you want to move. And it also helps you figure out where you might get stuck or where, maybe some pain starts. And then whoever you're working with has a better idea of what to do with you. All right, so we'll do 6 of those. And the last part of this warm-up, we'll do a world's greatest stretch. We'll do a kneeling version of it. So I'm here with my hands inside this lead leg. My lead leg right now is my left leg, so I'm going to rotate up and down. We could do this with a straight arm. You could do this with a bent elbow with the hand behind your head. Whatever works for you. Just kind of loosen up that T-spine, that thoracic spine. So we would do 2 sets of 30 seconds on each side. All right. And that's our warm-up. You could do this before any session. All right. All right, so now that we're done with our warm-up, we'll get into the actual meat of the workout. So the first exercise we're going to do is a wall sit with a march. All right, pretty simple. I'm going to do my wall sit. It means my back is going to be against the wall. I like my whole back against the wall, so shoulder blades are against the wall, my lower back is against the wall, and I'm pushing against the wall. I'm not just hanging out here any old way. I'm working. All right, so I'm trying to knock this pillar down, if you will. And then from here, I'm going to try to march nice and controlled, pushing myself against the wall. Now I got to push with a single leg. I'm getting a little bit of hip flexion, try to pick your knee up as high as you can under control. Again, keeping that hip against the wall. I'm shifting a little bit, but I don't want to be coming off the wall trying to get my leg up higher. All right, so we're marching for 8 to 10 reps on each side. I don't know how many that is. We'll call it 8 to 10. All right, you'll do 2 sets or 3 sets. It's up to you depending on how you feel, what your energy levels are like. All right, after that, we'll go into glute bridges. Same idea, 2 or 3 sets. With our glute bridge, we're gonna go with both legs this time. Instead of a march, we're gonna do a 3-second hold at the top. So we get up, really tuck the tailbone, squeeze the glutes for 3, 2, 1. Then we'll control it down for 3, 2, 1. Then we pop up and we hold, keeping that tension for 3, 2, 1. Control it down for 3, 2, 1. And then we're back up. Keep doing this for 10 reps. I'll do 5 for the purposes of this video. All right, so this is 4. I go up, and again, I hold 3, 2, 1. And I want to go slow for 3, 2, 1 on the way down. Lastly, I go up again. 3, 2, 1. And then I work my way down under control. Again, 2 or 3 sets. After that, we're going to go into a side lying leg raise. So I like to keep my spine neutral, so I use the bottom arm like a pillow, and I like to bend the bottom leg and then roll my weight over it. Once my leg is here, I'm kind of locked in this position. Do want to keep everything straight from, the shoulder down to the hip. My body's not twisted like so, but again, I like to use this bottom leg for support, and I use this arm as a pillow to support my neck instead of doing one of these, putting a crick in my neck. All right. After I get this position, I pull the leg back, kind of squeezing that glute maximus, extending the hip. Try to keep my feet parallel. Sometimes I cue pigeon-toed just to focus on getting into that glute. Once I turn the toe up, this becomes kind of a hip flexor exercise. So again, I want to keep my foot pointed forward or even somewhat downward. We'll do this nice and slow and controlled for 2 sets of 12 to 15 on each leg, 2 or 3 sets of 12 to 15 on each leg. I didn't count again. Let's just do 3, 2, and 1. Very good. All right. After that, we will do reverse lunges with a knee drive. Actually, let's keep it on the floor. We'll switch the order a little bit. So we'll do dead bugs. We're going to go single side. So I'll start out with my knees at about 90 degrees, hips about 90 degrees, my arms straight up, and that lower back is pressed against the floor. Then we'll go opposite arm and leg, lowering for about 2 seconds and returning for 2 seconds. And then we'll stay on the same side, lowering for about 2 seconds and returning for about 2 seconds. So we'll do this for 8 to 10, and then we'll switch sides. I'll just do 2 more. 1, 10. Cool beans. All right, so now the last part of this is a reverse lunge to balance. So we're going to do a little bit of a knee drive, if you will. Now, before we start, we kind of want to get acclimated to, what it is we can handle. So we can kind of march standing and bring our knee up under control and see what the hip flexor can actually do. A lot of times people do knee drives and they do stuff like this. I'm crunching a little bit, trying to create this illusion that my knee can go up way higher than it really can. Like, figure out where it could go. And then when we start doing the reverse lunges, we'll go 1 leg at a time. So we'll do 8 on each leg. I'll step back and bring the knee up. Ooh, that was kind of hard. I'll step back and bring the knee up. And then I want to hold it for a second or 2 just to really kick in that hip flexor, all right? There's like a whole complex of muscles that are responsible for you bringing your leg up. But when you hold that iso right here, not moving at all, we call that isometric, you'll really feel what that hip flexor is doing. And at least you'll know you're hitting the right thing. I'll do one more. It's probably 8. Boom. Same idea as everything else. 2 to 3 sets. And this one, we're doing 8 each side. All right, so to finish up, we're going to go with some direct core work. All right, a little bit more core work, if you will. All right, so we're going to do this in a circuit fashion, and we're going to run through this twice. So the first exercise we're going to do is a side plank. I'm going to get my elbow right under my shoulder with my hand going out to the front. And I either want to stack my feet or bend my knees and hold up that side plank. All right, pushing my hips forward and then bringing my hips up as high as I can. Again, either on the toes or the knees. We'll hold that for 30 seconds. Now to show what this time is. All right, and obviously we would do both sides. All right, right after that, we will go into a bird dog hold for 30 seconds. We would alternate sides and hold for 2 seconds each rep. So I start out on all fours, hands are right under the shoulders, knees are right under the hips, shoulders are at 90, hips and knees are at 90, roughly. And I'm gonna extend, maintaining that straight core, 2 seconds, replace and switch, 2 seconds, replace and switch. Try to keep the abs tight, keep the hips tucked. All right, the higher the arm and leg go, it's not necessarily the better. We want to stabilize at the top of that movement with a neutral spine. All right, after that, we would do a forearm plank with a leg lift. Again, just 30 seconds. I'm going to tuck my tailbones. The way I like to cue this is I tuck my tailbone and I'm going to pull my arms back toward my feet and then I pick up. So that's my plank. If that's hard enough, just hang out there. But we can add in some glute, just picking up the leg, but maintaining that tucked hip, marching for that 30 seconds. And then the last move we're going to do is leg lowering. So just like your leg raises, but I like to start from the top. So I'm here. I like to do a bit of a crunch, but feel free to lie back. Feel free to also put something under your head for support with any of these exercises where we're on our back. And we're just going to lower our legs to wherever we can and then come up. So instead of working from the floor up, we're going to work from the top down. As we get stronger, we'll develop more range of motion and be able to get lower to the floor without our lower back coming off of the floor. All right. So again, that's the end of our circuit. For that last part, we're going to do as a circuit. We're going to run through all 4 movements. Bang, bang, bang. 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. Those 2 sets you do back to back to back. So after you finish that last exercise, it's only 15 seconds. Then we start back up. Let's get it.